As a former chef, I have to say the videos I'm featuring today hurt my soul much like a razor blade cucumber covered in hot sauce would hurt my dark, dank fecal cannon. And yet, that description is still more delicious than the food you are about to see. Yes, we're talking about food today, and more specifically food abuse in a specific channel called Chef Club. Now, these people from Chef Club handle food in the equivalent of waking your child up, telling them it's bedtime, and then beating them unconscious. These people calling themselves chefs is like me calling myself an architect because I built a log cabin out of turds. So without further ado, bon appetit. First up on our leisurely stroll to Fireria Town is a dill pickle flavored chicken sandwich.
It's hot. Over here, got some shredded cheddar. Grab yourself a big handful. We're gonna use this in two different ways. Stick around to see how. Come back over here and we close this tightly. Check it out, beautiful color, I hope. That's exactly what we wanted.
I'm not opposed to this whole waffle toast idea. I have to admit, it's kind of a good idea. It has a nice crispy texture, and if you've ever had waffles, then you know the indents in a waffle is a great way to capture flavors. But what's Chef Tummy Gurgle going to do?
While this one cools down, I have an apple quarter that I'm simply going to twist and remove.
Remove the whole point of a waffle. He literally created a waffle bread that does the opposite of what a waffle does. It now leaks out ingredients from every direction. It's like smashing a glass then pouring water into it. It's pointless.
Got a little salad, hot little veggies here that have this chicken.
And look at that. That must be one of those new throwaway cast iron pans I've heard so much about. That's the perfect way to infuse a nice burnt milk taste into melted cheese. And do you sense it? A little bit of life force just got sucked out of every hardworking dishwasher in the world. And of course, don't forget to put a destroyed waffle bread on top, so when you take a bite, burnt cheese leaks out the top while dill spread drips out the bottom.
See, it is now ready. Come this way. Get yourself a wooden spoon, and from the bottom, we're gonna go ahead and get all that bone marrow out. Nice and slow into this hot boiling butter. This is exactly what we're looking for. Now,
you know, at first I was like, kind of a neat idea to create some sort of braising liquid or to confit it by infusing butter with bone marrow. I'm thinking he's going to add some roasted garlic next or some aromatics. No, he's not. It's Chef Club, and they work really hard to destroy good food.
this is combined. I'm going to grab our shank, beef shank that is. Look at that. Beautiful, guys. Give it a little twirl, let it show off its beauty. And now, we're going to get it completely covered all the way around. And these beautiful flavors, delicious. And we grill.
This fool wastes a ton of butter and bone marrow, and the only infusing going on is him infusing me with the anger of a Starbucks Karen finding out she got almond milk instead of cashew milk in her latte. If this dish was a birthday party, then he's a guy who just pulled out his wiener and tried to cut the cake with it. If this was Halloween, he's the a-hole giving out toothbrushes and dental floss. If this was a date, he just talked his date out of having sex by listing reasons he's awful in bed, has to keep his socks and t-shirt on at all times, and how other people's skin makes him itch.
We have our ground beef here, nicely seasoned. We're gonna go ahead and portion our patties. Nice big dish that out.
If you ever fall down the Chef Club rabbit hole, you'll see he has no clue whatsoever what kitchen tools to use for any task. If he was a carpenter, he'd be using a screwdriver as a hammer and wearing his hard hat on his feet. If he was a surgeon, he'd be trying to paper cut open his patients and using Play-Doh to patch them up. Here he uses two ramekins, aka little bowls, to scoop up ground beef. What the fuck is wrong with a spoon? And why the hell is the ground beef in a loaf dish? He's not making meatloaf. So yeah, instead of using a bowl and spoon, he uses 2 ramekins in a loaf dish. Then he uses 2 forks to mash everything down into a tortilla.
Like this. Get some salt and pepper on both. Go ahead and pick them up. Good, we're gonna go ahead and bring them off and flip them onto our plate. A little shredded cheddar. And we come with our second one.
You know, I gotta admit, when he took them off the flat grill, it looked all right, but I'm a little disappointed he didn't crisp up the other side.
We do the same thing. And I know you guys know what a burrito is, and you know what a pie is. But do you know what a burrito pie is?
Now you heard him. It's a burrito pie. Okay, then it's not actually a bad start. But if you guessed he'd be doing crispy stacked layers of beefy tortillas to make a pie, then you'd be almost as wrong as his cooking.
Well, you're about to find out. Check it out. Diced tomatoes. And some green spring onions, just like that. Look at that beauty. Now we start to roll it up.
He just destroys it. What a fucking hot mess. By the way, what is the point of crisping up the inside when you're rolling it up? It's going to be soggier than granny panties on dance night at the senior's home, and all that crispy texture is lost in a sea of buffoonery. It's like making a grilled cheese, but you only grill the inside of the bread and leave the outside untoasted. But wait, why stop there when you can ruin the dish even further?
Give it a little cut right down the middle. Now we're going to come through with a little more cheese, just a bit. Lettuce.
I mean, what is the point of this? Why are you topping it with cheese and a woven tortilla skirt? And then what? How are you going to eat it? How are you supposed to eat this when it comes out of the oven? Standing straight up? Because if you lay it down on its side, all your cheesy topping and skirt will fall off. This makes me angry because all he did was make a large burrito using 10 extra unnecessary steps. And now you can't even eat it like a burrito because he put a bunch of garbage on top. You have to eat it like a giant cup of burrito pudding. This is as close to pie as a colonoscopy is to a drive-in theater. This is about as close to pie as finding a dead body is to making a new friend. He calls this dish fried rice with barbecue ribs. If that ends up being anything like fried rice, then I'm Aunt Jemima playing with my floppy flapjacks in a bathtub of syrup. Jeffrey Dahmer was a better chef.
With the third as well. Mix, mix, mix. We got a mix of bell pepper.
First, he starts off by putting every ingredient in a separate bowl, only to mix them all together and saute everything at the same time, none of which cooks at the same time. And again, what the fuck is wrong with a spoon? Or even a lift he has in his hand? I mean, why can't he use the spatula? A whole decked out kitchen, and what does he use to scoop up some piping hot ingredients? A highball glass. What the what? If a murderer walked into his house waving an axe around and numbnuts had a table full of guns, he'd reach for a pillow to defend himself. That's how clueless he is. That is not fried rice, that's burnt bottom rice. Yum, yum. There's no frying going on. And oh yes, a practical plating of food. You can't just eat the dish, you gotta disassemble it. I had a Korean roommate once. One day in the kitchen I asked what they were cooking. They said they're making pizza. I watched them cover bread with ketchup, slap on a slice of American cheese, and broil it in the oven. That was still closer to pizza than this dish is to fried rice.
Alright, Cupcakes, tell me, when was the last time you shared your muffin with someone?
This video made me angry enough to walk around town kicking puppies and pushing old people down. And you know you're in for a culinary treat when you see a glass wrapped in sausage and filled with eggs.
Bring that in.
And make sure to contaminate your entire kitchen counter with raw pork sausage so you get that extra fire hose feeling when you're on the toilet all night. This will make you poop things you haven't even eaten yet. Watching this makes my bowels quiver in fear.
Pancake batter. Get our edges filled in. Just like this, all the way around. And it seems like it's about enough. Leaves us some space for these delicious potatoes, nicely salted with bacon as well. And drop them off all the way around, just like this. Got a little tap. And we top it off with some more batter. Let's go. A little bit of maple syrup. Got a nice, delicious little flavor. And we finish off with the batter. Just like this. Beautiful. Now, we're not going to go in the oven with the glass.
This is truly a recipe for food poisoning. Undercooked pancake batter with raw sausage is the only outcome here. Just look at this useless mess. I don't know how to describe my feelings other than pure rage and sadness simultaneously. This ain't a breakfast muffin, it's a murder muffin, because anyone who eats this will either die or feel so sick that they'll pray for death. This is a breakfast muffin in the same way a giant puddle of hobo piss is a hot tub. This is a breakfast muffin in the same way a plane crashing halfway to its destination is a layover.
Now you can. Here we go. Let's get a little butter going here. And we move on. Let's grab this here, just like that. Get ready. Flip this on top, and we flip it. Just like this. There we go. Beautiful. Now, one more time, guys. Let's give it a flip. Look at that. Beauty. Guys, I don't want to show off, but oh my god, that looks good.
Oh, waiting for the reveal cut, are you? It ain't happening, because that thing is a liquidy, bloody raw mess inside.
There we go.
Do you like ribs? Do you like corn dogs? Ever think of combining the two? No, me either, because it sounds grotesquely horrible together, but apparently one man's vomit is another man's recipe.
Some of this beautiful corn dog batter. Just like that, y'all. And now we flip it real quick. Before doing that, we're gonna go ahead and make sure this is nice and covered. Beautiful. Look at that. Let's go ahead and flip it right away so we can get both sides covered up.
I love how he titled this vid "Corn Dog Ribs Made Easy," like anyone was actually making this and struggling to do so. Oh geez, these corn dog ribs are so complicated. I wish there was an easier way. It's like watching a kid who likes fish sticks but also loves peanut butter jelly Sammys, so he combines the two. And just because you can combine two things doesn't mean they belong together.
Grab it. Fry it. Wait. Like this. Hot oil. Safety first. Be careful. Go. And now, color and texture is perfect. Let that drip just a little bit here, and
if he was an insane geneticist, he'd be making the worst animals. I call this one eagle turtle, and this one is hamster worm. And I met a lion gazelle, but unfortunately it ate itself.
you can put whatever you want at home. Whatever you like. A little ketchup and a little yellow mustard, as I usually do on my corn dogs. Now I'm just going to go ahead and grab a knife. Take a nice chunk out of this baby. Like butter. Look at that.
And look at this hot mess. How are you supposed to eat this? And when you cut into it, it looks like all the coating will fall off, so it's pretty pointless. hold on to your lower intestines because just watching this next video is going to dissolve your insides. Waffle hot dogs. Look at Chef Twat. He's using a paper clip to julienne hot dogs instead of a knife. Very logical choice. Very logical. Probably peels carrots with a Q-tip. I'm guessing all his knives are currently in use. They're stuck in his sex doll because she looked at him the wrong way. Yum, yum, a big tower of sadness. If tears could cook, this is what they would make. And of course, nothing goes better with eggy hot dogs than beer-flavored sauce. Ooh, yum, ugh. Okay, my soul is now empty, so I guess it's time to wrap it up. So what do you all think? Am I being too harsh, or do you find his food as disgusting as I do? Let me know what you think in the comments section below. As always, thanks so much for checking out the video. If you need something to do with your fingers, then hit the like, subscribe, and share buttons. Until next time, be well and see you soon.